Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with selections for Monday the 29th of December. Well, it's been poor for the last few days. Absolutely shocking. I don't think a single one came placed yesterday. The racing's quite poor. I've picked a few out. I like the look of them, but you need to just use, if you're following me in, just use pennies. It needs to be really small. I think I've staked £15 in total, and even that was a little bit excessive. So I'm going to show you, it's two bets. So I've gone for some kind of each way selections, but not each way prices. I don't fancy them enough to win, but I think they've got a good chance of winning. But I do think they'll be knocking around the placings as a minimum. So here they are. So obviously I'm sorry. So this bet, sorry, the first bet is actually the each way bet, the bigger prices. So as I said, there was two bets. So what I've gone for here, this is how little I've staked. So what I've done, I've gone for 25 pence each way singles. I've gone for a 25p each way accumulated, just in case we fluke four places, because it would be a bit of a fluke really, with a 50 to 1 in there. And a 20 pence each way lucky 15. I think it comes to £8 something, just off the top of my head. It might not, somewhere around there. So let me get into it. So the first selection is Razor's Edge at 14 to 1 in the 1240 at Newbury. I do believe this is currently, well, this is currently eight places. So the first two you can give a decent chance to. The third horse, it's only ran once over hurdles. It ran in February of this year, I believe. It achieved a Racing Post rating of 120, which is pretty decent, but it didn't turn out again since. Seems a bit odd, that does, the fact that the season's kind of, with a 120 rated or Racing Post rated horse, you would have thought that it might probably been a couple more runs or something like that after achieving quite a promising Racing Post rating, but it's not been out since. Not quite sure why. I wouldn't imagine the ground was too dry from February onwards, so there should have been other occasions, or whether it was just put it away to strengthen it up. But I just think it's only ran once over hurdles. Was that horse flattered on that day? Was it actually a slow pace and it achieved a Racing Post rating based on its proximity to the winners? I don't know. Maybe the horse isn't as good as that, but that horse is about, I think it's about fives. So I'm thinking we'll go for an each way bet. Hopefully one of the three fancied horses underperforms. So I've gone for a Skelton horse. So I'm not a fan of Tristan Jarrell, although he has been riding okay. Well, he was on it last time, and when it ran last time, it was coming off a gelding and a wind operation, basically double whammy. I know we generally think that wind operations, you wouldn't normally, although I did the other day, you wouldn't normally bite them first run after a wind operation. So to have a wind operation and a gelding operation and have the first run, I thought the first run was okay. It ran to a Racing Post rating of 99, which, to be fair, for a Skelton horse, it's not really fantastic. But I do believe if it slightly improves, it could run a place. But you will have to have the fancied horses running below par. Could win, but realistically, I think it'll be hunted round towards the back. It'll probably look like a non-trier most of the race, I think. And then, if one of the top three underperforms, it might just about grab third place. But 14 to 1 for a Skelton horse. The stable's in decent form, so I can't really knock it, to be fair. The second selection is a fancy. It's a bit of a Newcastle specialist. I think it's too big a price, to be fair. Although when I first looked at it, I think it were nines. So Percy Willis at 7 to 1 in the three. Sorry, I thought it said 3:15. 3:10 at Newcastle, paying first three. So this horse, it is a Newcastle specialist. I think they got it slightly wrong, to be fair. I think it should be much shorter. I think it should be more of a 5 to 1, 11 to 2 chance. It's got a decent chance. Jed O'Keefe, trainer in okay form. I believe he had a winner yesterday at Catterick. I think it was a novice hurdle. So yeah, he's doing okay. I've always eyed on Jed O'Keefe because he's not really a fashionable trainer, but he does have his fair share. A bit like Alan Brown, if you ever noticed Alan Brown at Southall or on the All Weather. Seems to have virtually 5 horses, but they always seem to get a win out of them, and especially when they gamble them. So the next selection is Quiet Serenade at 50 to 1 in the 3:45 at Newcastle. I saw this horse last time, only because I thought it ran okay the time before for an Ivan Furtado horse that is not really known for getting first time out winners, but I thought it shaped okay on its debut. And then I watched it on its second run, and it was drawn high, and I think that on that occasion they went to the far side, which is low numbers. This horse met trouble twice, and to be fair, I haven't spotted anything that anybody else wouldn't spot, because when I looked at it today, it actually said eye catcher on it on the Racing Post on the Racing Post commentary. So Quiet Serenade at 50 to 1. The problem is it's had 2 runs now. Its third run, which is this one, might just be, you might see a big change in tactics, which is not really what we want. You don't want it held up last, and we don't want it making the running, because then we clearly know straight away that it's only being aimed for a handicap mark, a nursery handicap mark. So what we want is, we want it 5th or 6th early on. Then hopefully it can get tucked in 5th or 6th straight down the middle of the course. It's drawn 5. Then let's see what it's got. If it gives its best, puts its best foot forward, and you can see that it's given 100%, and it doesn't come in the place as well. We know we've been on a try, but I just hope it's not. I won't say hunted around the back, but I just hope it's not. I just hope it's given a chance. The final selection is Angelic Rascal at 9 to 1 in the 4:15 at Newcastle. So this is paying first 2. I've been watching something a bit recently. It's something I've been keeping an eye on, and it's, even if they're not really in form, 2-year-olds in nursery handicaps towards the top of the weights. Well, this is number 2, so obviously it's the second best in the race. Obviously, clearly it's not in form, but I just think the George Bowie and Billy Loughnane connection, for me, I just think it might come last, but I don't think it will come last. I would like it to come in the first 2. I think it's got a bit of a sniff. Clearly, it's not performed just yet. The colours are quite well known. It's the I can't remember. I think it's Chuli, yeah, Charlie and Julie. Yeah, all right then. Rosilier or Rossiter, something like that. When you click on the colours, they've got those horses called Naughty Rascal. They're all rascals. That's not through temperament, but yeah. So that's the selection that I've gone for. It's quite a powerful connections, so quite interesting. But there is another bet. I just need to try and get rid of this. That's it. It doesn't always work like that. So let's just minimise that. Right. So this is, I can't remember what I staked here. It's it's a 40 pence each way patent. One second, I'm just checking. Right, okay, yeah. So what I've had a 40 pence each way in patent and £1 each way treble. So I've gone for Fitzroy Gardens at 9 to 2 in the 12:25 at Doncaster. I'm a bit concerned about this one really, because it's drifting, and to be fair, I think it should be shorter than this. So it's come from the flat and it's gone to not Michael Hammond. You don't know Mickey Hammond. So the favourite in this race is called something like Midas U Blue or something like that. It's trained by the Skeltons, but it's achieved absolutely nothing. I think it's purely favourite on this from the Skelton perspective. I think it's about 11 to 8, and the only thing going for it is that it's jumped over hurdles before, but it didn't even achieve a Racing Post rating that were credible. I think it's 80 something that it's achieved. 80 something for favourite is if it still wins, which it could do, it just shows it's a dreadful race. There is quite a lot of money for the second favourite now, which is it Sue Smith and Joel Parkinson? This has never ran over hurdles either. I don't think it has. I think all three of its runs have been over. Oh, sorry, no. Two of its runs have been on the National Flat. It has run over hurdles where it went clear with the winner, then weakened quickly. Um, I just think rather than that horse, that it's called something like La Hoy Soft or something like that. That horse, it could well take the lead again, and I'm thinking through lack of ability from the favourite and inexperience from maybe my selection, it could actually make them go a bit. But I'm kind of fingers crossing that Fitzroy Gardens can jump. I think it's quite interesting the fact that James Bowen's on board. I've never really noticed James Bowen riding for Mickey Hammond before, but I find it quite interesting. Jockey's quite decent. Um, I don't mind the Mickey Hammond stable, but the more like the more familiar with 10-year-old chasers. That's what I tend to find with Mickey Hammond. But anyway, it's an interesting prospect. It came from Ireland. I think it was trained by Donica O'Brien, I think. But I just think it's got a bit of a chance. It's the only one that sniffs of a little bit of ability. So yeah, the next horse is White Noise at 100 to 30 in the 5 past 12 at Newbury. This horse is through a match of obviously I clicked on the favourite. I thought, right, what can we get to beat it? So I went through the card. I'm thinking like, there's so many question marks over these. I don't know how anybody really can back a Paul Nicholls horse. So obviously, clearly that Paul Nicholls is also probably going to win by 10 lengths now. But I just can't back anything to do with Paul Nicholls. The horse is progressing for Paul Nicholls. That's not the selection, by the way. The horse for Paul Nicholls is progressing gradually, but he's beat absolutely nothing. I noticed that there was one horse that ran yesterday over Chase Fences. It was beat 14 lengths by it. It was tailed off, beaten 50 something lengths yesterday, but that was over Chase Fences. This is over hurdles. Obviously he knows a decent horse when he sees one, but I just think this might be a bit too much for the Paul Nicholls alternative. So White Noise I do like the look of it. Rula Bula, that's the second favourite. John Joe O'Neill, I think he had a winner the other day. I'm not too sure about the trainer. Rula Bula seems to be around for a while, but there's one or two in the race that like to force the pace. Well, this one has made the run in White Noise and also been ridden in third place, but it did win its last run easily. And I'm just thinking it's more progressive than Rula Bula. As for the bigger prices, I just can't see it really. It's not a great race, but maybe something might pop up. And the third selection is once again Razor's Edge, 14 to 1 in the 12:40 Newbury. This is the one once again that is the Dan Skelton horse that might sneak into the frame. Hopefully it wins for this bet, but it's unlikely. So those are the two bets, 6 selections, although one of them I've had twice. So the football bet will be in the description and the first comment by 11 a.m. The football bet yesterday let us down. So what happened yesterday was I can't remember your name. I think it's something Quinnell. I'll probably remember her name just so I'm clicking stop on the video. So he asked me for a football bet. I was putting one on, but I just actually forgot about it. I thought, because nobody's asked, I weren't going to put one in. But then you asked for one, so I put one in. But unfortunately, it came down. It was a £10 double. Sunderland and draw no bet. That means basically if it's a draw, you get your money back and it goes on to the next one. And the other one was the Crystal Palace and Tottenham match over 2.5 goals. There was only one goal in the match, but there were 2 disallowed goals. So I don't know if you can class yourself unfortunate. I don't know. I didn't see the disallowed goals. But anyway, the football bet, it will be a bigger football bet, as in like more widespread, because there's quite a lot of football on. And it's also on tonight, not this afternoon. So I wish you the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.